Hi students, this is Ms. Johnson with 5-1, solving inequalities by adding or subtracting. Our SOBAT for today is the exact same as the title. We're going to solve inequalities by adding and subtracting. Alright, let's talk about a couple definitions before we get into the examples. Set builder notation. We need to use set builder notation when we are working with inequalities. And set builder notation looks like this colorful example. We have a brace, a variable, a line, the same variable, our inequality, a number, and a brace. But we read this as we go through, and I've got the words here. We read this as the color red is the brace, and that tells us to say the set of, x is in green, that means all real numbers x. This line means such that the variable x is orange, x, then our inequality is greater than or equal to our number 20. So go ahead and say this with me as we go through. The set of all real numbers x such that x is greater than or equal to 20. If you did not say it with me, rewind, replay, and say it with me. You need to speak it like this so you sound like intelligent mathematicians when you give your answers in class. Alright, the inequality symbols. There are 4 of them. And you read inequality symbols from left to right just like you read a book. So on this one, the left side is smaller, so that means it's less than. This second one has the left-hand side is bigger, so it's greater than. And you can think about the alligator eating the bigger number. And then these two have the same symbols, but they have this line underneath, which is like part of the equal sign. So this is less than or equal to. And the last one is greater than or equal to. And you might be thinking, when we're working with inequalities, do they work like equations when we solve them? And the answer is yes. When we add or subtract the same number to each side, we can solve inequalities just like we solve equations. Alright, let's go ahead and solve one of these. Let's solve p plus 8 is less than or equal to 18. Well, if this was an equation, if this said p plus 8 equals 18, remember we need to get the variables to one side and the whole numbers to the other. So we need to get the p all by itself. Right now it's plus 8, so we'll do the opposite. So we'll subtract 8 from both sides. So we subtract 8 from both sides. The 8's gone. We're left with just the p. 18 minus 8 is 10. And then we just bring down the inequality sign, so it stays less than or equal to 10. Then we want to put our answers in set notation. So we're going to put our brace. So we've got all real numbers p. We're going to use that variable. Then put the line such that p, and then we just use our answer, is less than or equal to 10. Alright, example number 2. Sometimes you're not only going to have to solve the problems, but you're also going to have to graph them. So let's take the problem 3a plus 6 is less than or equal to 4a. Alright, if we need to get the numbers on one side and the variables on the other, let's see, this left-hand side we have variables and numbers. On the other side we have the variable. So we need to get the variables on the same side, so let's start by getting rid of the 3a. Right now it's a positive, so we need to subtract 3a from both sides. When we do that, the 3a's are gone, and on the left-hand side we're just left with 6. On the right-hand side, 4a minus 3a leaves us with just 1a, and our inequality sign stays the same. So we've got 6 is less than or equal to a, which means our answer of a, whatever a is really a number bigger than 6. So it can be 6 or 7 or 8. So when we put this in set builder notation, the variable has to go first. So the set of all real numbers a such that a, so if the a is going to be first, we know a has to be bigger, so we have to flip that inequality sign around. So it's going to be greater than or equal to 6. Alright, so now we need to graph our answer. Well, how do we graph it when we only have one variable? If you said on a number line, you are thinking correctly. So if we're going to put this on a number line, we also need to think about, what kind of dots do I need to use? Well, if our answer includes a less than or greater than sign, we're going to use an open dot. But if it's in less than or equal to or greater than equal to, we're going to have a filled in dot because it can be equal to that number. So we're going to make our number line, and our number needs to be greater than or equal to 6. So I'm going to go over to 6, I'm going to have a filled in dot, and the number needs to be greater than, so it's going to go to the right. And one of the nice things is whichever way the inequality sign is pointing, so if I grab a pen here real quick, okay, I can just kind of turn them into arrows. So if it's less than, the arrow is going to go to the left. If it's greater than, the arrow goes to the right. Okay. All right. Summary. You can decide if you want to do your summary right now on your notes, if you want to do it on your summary sheet, or if you want to put it into a foldable study guide. Thanks for tuning in. This is Miss Johnson working with adding and subtracting with inequalities.